through today, types of things has he been working on here in between these two starts?
Yeah, well, first of all, Steve, he needs his command. He needs to throw strikes, not only with his fastball, but his secondary pitches too. When he's at either his changeup or his slider, it doesn't have to be the two of them, but with one of the two, like that's when he can get through easily. He can make adjustments on the fly, and he can pitch inside, he can pitch away. Once again, he's got a righty-heavy lineup. The only lefty they have is a pretty good hitter against lefties, and that's what we need. I mean, if he commands his fastball plus one of the secondary, I think he's a guy that can get us through, no problem. He's got great stuff. I mean, you've seen him; he's poised, everything. It's just when he loses touch for one of his for the two secondary pitches, he becomes that one pitch pitcher, and then he tries to be extra fine. Which is something that he hasn't predominantly done in the past. So, if he sets the tone that way from the first inning, I think that's when we're going to see the Peterson that gets those 6-inning starts, 7-inning starts for us.
That slider has always been his bread and butter, and obviously he was really effective with it a year ago. Is it as simple as what you were just saying, that the command has been off, or has something else contributed to that pitch being less effective, hitters having so much more success this year?
Yeah, there's two things. So it's backing up a little more. Last year it was definitely sweeping, and he has some depth. It's backing up a little more than what it was last year. And I think one of the things that led to that was his hard work to expand his repertoire. So to improve his changeup and the curveball, which he's not using as much right now, he got away from his slider because he didn't want to be only a fastball slider guy. And I think he wanted to expand his repertoire, so his slider suffered a little bit because of it. He's aware of it. I think that he's looking to get the touch of it at the same time that he keeps improving the touch of his changeup. So, but that's his pitch. He shouldn't gone away too far from it. The reasons were obviously positive, just because he wanted to expand his repertoire, but I think he can stick to his strength, right? While he works on other things. So I think that's what he's doing right now. But the main goal here is to make sure he gets ahead and he keeps his pitches in the zone, so he gets some swings from the opposing batters.
Thanks.
Go to Tim Healy next.
Hey, Luis. McCann's hot streak at the plate seemed to coincide with him not catching as often. At catching, obviously, a very grueling position. Do you think those two are related at all? That when he didn't have to catch like 80% of the games or whatever it was early in the year, that he started hitting a little more?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, Tim. This is one of the goals that he established and we established for him when we were in a split time with him and Nito behind the plate. He worked tirelessly with both of our hitting coaches just to keep getting better with his stance, with his swing, with everything that takes part in him improving and again putting the ball in play and probably hitting the ball a little harder. It's happened. He's translated it a lot quicker than what we thought, and we challenged him to play first base as well when we needed it, when we lost Alonso, and that helped too. I think to get his mind of the game calling and the preparation that he does, which is very thorough. Like he stripped down every one of our pitchers, every one of the opposing hitters, just to have a plan for them and be there for the pitchers. So I think getting away a little bit from that and focusing more a little bit on his offense has helped him. Tonight we have him playing first. The reason behind that is because we wanted Nito under him in the lineup against the lefty, and we wanted to keep Alonso as a DH, which is it's okay, and we have Dom in left, so we have some parts that can move throughout the game if we want to, but the way he's swinging, it's led to us to do a lineup like the one we have tonight, even though we have Alonso back from the IL.
Ideally, with McCann and Nito, do you see that going 50-50, 60-40? Do you have any sort of preference or target?
Well, not too far. Not. I don't have a number like moving forward. Like we just go on day to day, basically, and how the game goes. Like here it's really hot, and like we'll see how it goes and Nito catching and see if we're gonna have back to back with Nito. Like I don't know, we got to make a decision there. So we're going game to game with those two. They're both playing well, catching well. I think I mean we're lucky. We're lucky to have those two guys just performing right now at the rate that they're performing. So I don't have a plan where one's catching 3, the other one, or or anything like that. We're just going. They're splitting time. That's how we call it. That's our language to both of those guys as well.
And do you have Elmore going on a rehab assignment tonight?
Yeah. I actually got a few for you because you were the one you asked me the other day. So Elmore is going tonight for his first one, and Guillermo is playing 7 tonight. That's the plan, and then he'll play tomorrow and the next day, and then we'll see if we can probably activate him for the weekend. That's the plan right now. And McNeil is going to start this weekend, whether Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, one of the 3 days. But he'll start his rehab assignment this weekend. That
seems faster than I think anybody initially expected on McNeil. It must be good news for him.
Yeah, that's why we say week to week, and we try not to. It's just see how he responded really well to treatment, and he progressed well. So we're pretty optimistic, with him rehabbing and meeting us down the road. I mean, we'll see. We'll start this weekend, and then we'll see how long it takes before he joins us.
Next up is Justin Toscano.
Hey, Luis, with McNeil, what has he been able to do baseball activity-wise to get ready for that rehab assignment?
So he's been progressing in every aspect, in every area, from doing his ground balls, from doing his high speed, running, swinging the bat. He's been doing everything. And the next step will be this weekend to go on the rehab assignment and then progress per the inning, 5 innings to 7 innings to the 9 innings, the back-to-backs, 9 innings, and all that before he comes to us. So, but he's been doing everything. He's been doing really well. He was bragging about it before we got on the road trip, like telling me how fast he was going. But, I still wanted to just take it easy, just focus on today and get through today and keep getting stronger. So I'm glad he's at a good point right now. And then, we pray that he finishes like that in his rehab and his treatment, and then he can start that rehab assignment this weekend, which is what we want.
And I know a few weeks ago when talking about Conforto and McNeil, Zach said that, both late June. Is Conforto still on track for that late June, early July, or is he maybe shifted?
Well, where are we? It's the 8th, right? So he's been with us the entire road trip. He's working really hard. He's hitting, and then you guys that are here, you're going to see him swinging potentially in one of our groups in BP. So he's been hitting. He's been doing defense, and we're looking at him probably a couple of weeks away from starting his rehab assignment. But he's been doing a lot of baseball activity to tolerance. So, and then he's doing his treatment. He's the first player here doing his treatment and progression with the performance staff. So maybe a couple of weeks away from him going to his rehab assignment.
And then just a quick follow-up on McCann. Obviously, he's a veteran guy, but when a guy like that breaks out of a slump and starts to hit better, have you witnessed any a weight lifted off his shoulders these past few days or late last week?
Yes. I mean, always. He's a solid man. He's consistent. You see his attitude every day, but I mean, still, when you're not performing, you're hard on yourself, and he was being hard on himself. He wanted to do better, and you could see that he's working hard. He's taking extra swings, and sometimes you want to tell, some of these guys, it's not overdoing things. It's hard work, but it's quality over quantity, and but you can see that he's toned it down and he's found the sweet spot on what he needs to do to carry it over to the game. And, he is, I mean, there's some things that he's got away from ever since he's been swinging the bat like this. It's been more relaxed, and it's been more, I'm going to say more routine oriented, rather than just going out there swinging and trying to find out what's going on. So yes, he's been behaving a lot better for sure in the last, week or so, a little over a week. Yes.
We'll go to Tim Britton next, then Mike Puma afterwards.
Hey, Luis. What have you thought of Dom Smith's defense in left field throughout the season?
He's been great, Tim. Kudos to Tony Tarasco and being working with him closely, and also our performance staff who's, they've been working with him and his, lateral steps, also, steps going back, getting into a position where he can read a fly ball and probably not sheet either way. So they put a lot of work. Dom's put a lot of work with all these guys. And the other day he was making fun of me because I let him finish the game and left. It's like, finally. So I'm excited for him. He's worked really hard, not only this year, but years in the past as well. He's had few off-field coaches. I've been one of them. But I think with Tony and the performance staff this year, like he's definitely grown a lot more. You put the experience with the great coaching from Tony and the great coaching from our performance staff, and Dom's body condition right now, which is really good. And I think it's they got good results, and he's playing really good in left.
You've lost a lot of outfielders over the course of the season for some time. What has it meant to be able to comfortably put him in left field on a daily basis?
Yes, and me personally, I've been getting more comfortable each day with him. And when you think about the first game of the season, you think about Dom playing 7 innings and having a defensive sub there at some point. And at this point, we've finished with Dom if we have to. Now, if you have a guy like Almora and you can upgrade your defense and have Almora in center, and even with Mason, we do it too. But then you shift guys around. But I'm comfortable if we use one of those players earlier in the game as a pinch hitter if we have to, and Dom's going to be in left for the remainder of the game. We're all comfortable doing that as well. And he's earned it. He's the one that's giving us that. He's done it out there for us, and he's just showing us that, he's not a liability. He's going to make plays, and he knows how to adjust. He's smart. He's gotten better in left.
Thanks.
Uma, you're up.
Hey, Louie. After this series, you don't have the DH again until I believe September when you go to Boston. I'm just wondering what's the challenge going to be to find the bats for McCann when he's not catching?
When he's not catching, I mean, we'll see. We got to let it. We got to let that get to us first. Like, right now we're taking advantage with the DH, and he's playing first, but he will catch if he keeps swinging like he's swinging. Both catchers are doing good. We're still thinking of splitting time with them. If there is a day where Alonso needs a day off, like we can use McCann at first. So there's different scenarios where we can have McCann in the lineup, but I just don't want to go too far from where we are today. Like, we're thinking close range right now of, the guys that we have. We don't want to go outside of that. And I'm glad that McCann is swinging the bat like he's swinging lately, and Nito as well. So if we have those two guys in the lineup tonight, and we feel that they're going to contribute offensively, that's a blessing, because we're missing pieces in our lineup from an offensive position player standpoint. So those two guys are, they helped us along the way, along with a bunch of other guys too, to be in a position where we are right now. So we're just thinking of tonight, Mike. Yeah. We'll find a spot if he's somebody that his bat is just being sold out to us that he wants to be there on a daily basis.
Yeah, actually, I misspoke. You get it when you play the Yankees in early July. But the other thing, McNeil, is he going right to Syracuse?
Yeah, that's the plan. For him to go to Syracuse, start and this weekend, whether it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, like that's what I don't know for sure. Which one of the 3 days is going to be, but it's this weekend.
Thank you.
Go to Dave Lennon next, and then Ryan Dunleavy.
Hey, Luis, it seems like in the coming weeks, you're going to get some of your players back. And it's almost kind of weird because you played with so many different ones in the interim. Why do you think that group has done so well, just kind of meshing when you've shuffled in so many different faces? And it seems like each guy has performed well in their different roles.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be nice to see some of the guys get back, some of our players that started the season on the roster. Yeah, there'll be tough decisions probably with guys that have come along the way and helped. And I think that the guys have come to us throughout all this time with the injuries and things that have happened to us. Their confidence level has been up here immediately, just because everyone here in this on this team is just giving that to them. Everyone that comes in is just like, listen, get on here, and this is what we're doing, and this is what we expect you to do, and everything's laid out on the table to the player coming in. And I don't think we treat any player like a stranger, any player that comes here. I mean, it just, everything's laid out to him, and the person feels really confident immediately. So I think the biggest thing has been that every player treats each other equally in that room. And they seen that there's no separation, whether you're the guy that make the most money, whether you're the guy that making the minimum, or you're the guy that, you know, has the most years of service, or you're the guy that, you know, just got to the big leagues. Everyone's treating each other the same there. And I think that translate into the playing field, where guys just treat each other as, you know, baseball players, and anyone can come in and contribute and be the hero of the night to help the team win. So I think that's helped. And you have guys like Francisco, like Comfort is hurt, but he's with the team, but he's treating guys like this. But Francisco, Conforto, Jacob deGrom, you name it, Edwin Diaz, Familia, Walker, Stroman, everyone gives the same treatment to the players that come in as to the players that have been here for years. So I think that's played a really big role throughout these times for us to be performing like we're performing out there.
Great. Thanks, Louis.
Ryan, go ahead.
Luis, I wanted to ask you about Jose Peraza. Defensively, he doesn't have an error. I'm sure, knock on wood, right? And then, but it's not just the routine plays. The advanced metrics say he's 97th percentile defense. What is it? What kind of lift has he given you defensively, and what is it that makes him so good there?
Yeah, he's been great, Ryan. He just a couple of things. Him and Lindor, they connected really well up the middle. They talk a lot. They don't shut up during the game. They talk all the time. You hear him from the dugout, and Villar's in it. Even Alonso, they're talking in Spanish, and Alonso is talking to. I don't know what he's saying either, but they're always connected. They're moving around. They're on their toes, and Lindor is a big part of this. But Peraza is a guy that was originally a shortstop, so second base will be a position where he can dominate, and now the confidence level that he's at right now, he's helped him to play third well when we needed him. I think the positioning along that, his abilities have helped him with the metrics, because we are aware of the metrics. The one challenge with him, it's going to be with Guillorme coming back and McNeil coming back. And one of the things that we're going to ask Jose is to do something that he's done in the past, probably. Be ready to play different positions. Yes, he's been our second baseman almost for a month period now. And he's been great at it. He's helped us win a lot of games, but he's going to have to help us as an utility guy as well if he's going to be here down the road. So he's played left, he's played center in the past. He has played third and short. I mean, we've seen it, but you just got to get some reps in different positions as well. Not tonight, not today. Today he's our second baseman, but down the road, that's something that we are going to, talk to him and make sure that he stays open-minded, that this is reality. It's just what's going to happen. So for us to have his bat, to have his presence, and in a National League team, he's a very valuable player to be moving around like that and to be available. Whether he's going to be in the lineup or not, we don't know. I mean, we're battling. He's been part of our winning formula. So we talk about tough decisions, but this guy right now is our second baseman. So, but we can use those strengths that I mentioned that he has in his repertoire, for us to keep him around with the guys that are coming in.
Next we'll have Rich Catino, followed by Raul Ramos.
Hey, Louis. The hot batting of Francisco Lindor the last 2 weeks has been very hot with extra base hits galore. But when you look at his batting 2 weeks prior to this hot streak, he was drawing a lot of walks. He took some bunt singles, a lot of patience at the plate. How much do you think that approach helped him to get to the point where he is now, where he's really a red hot hitter?
Well, I think that helped a little bit because that was the positive of his offense. His swing decision he's always been good. I just think he's gotten in trouble when he's trying to force the hand. He just gets a little bit outside of that and he tries to pull everything. And I think that's what he's done in the last, week or 2 weeks. He's been able to trust more pitches out over the plate so he can drive into the big part of the field. And he's done it from both sides of the plate. And his average is gonna go up. He's gonna drive balls out of the yard. He has power, not only to the pull side, he has power to the gaps as well, and to the opposite field too. So I think the swing decision played a role. And right now he's trying to trust his power to the gaps, like he's probably done it in the past. But he was forcing the hand at times. He wanted to bring the ball to his pull side. He wanted it from both sides. And I think the homer he hit in Citi Field to right center in the series against the Braves, when we scored a lot of runs, I think that was the ball that brought him back into his confidence that he can drive the ball to the gaps and he can let the ball travel and he doesn't need to pull everything. So the swing decisions played a role, but he needed to make contact with a ball and drive it to the big part of the field just to assure himself and remind himself that he can do this.
Raul, go ahead.
Saludos, Luis. Se ha cumplido aproximadamente un tercio de la temporada. ¿Qué grade, qué calificación te das y cómo has evolucionado comparando el año pasado a este año? So the question is, like, it's been almost a third of the season already. How do you compare last year to this year, and how have you evolved as a manager so far?
Bueno, lo voy a decir primero en español, pero yo no puedo dar grado, Raúl. No me voy a dar una calificación, pero sí he aprendido bastante. Siempre aprendo y estoy muy dispuesto a seguir aprendiendo en este juego. Hay tantas cosas por aprender. Este juego es especial, tiene muchas partes que se mueven al mismo tiempo. Hay mucho personal con experiencia que ha llegado a mi vida y en este año han llegado nuevo y he aprendido de ellos. Así que he aprendido mucho. Pienso que soy mejor que lo que era el año pasado y al mismo tiempo como pienso que soy mejor hoy de lo que era ayer. Yo, como te digo, me preparo todos los días para hacer mi trabajo y me preparo todos los días para aprender cosas nuevas. Yo pienso que eso es lo que me ha ayudado quizás a ayudar a los muchachos un poco para que estén en la mejor posición de entrar en acción allá afuera, porque para mí mi mejor herramienta es la comunicación. Yo creo que no es un secreto, me gusta decirle a todo el mundo dónde están parados para que así no tengan ninguna duda de lo que van a hacer allá afuera y sepan esperar cómo van a ser utilizados. Así que eso es lo que yo pienso del año pasado a este. Esta ha sido mi actitud, pero como quiera, en el mismo renglón de la comunicación, yo he aprendido muchísimo este año. So, in English, Raul wanted me to grade myself. I'm not good at grading, I think. So I think that I've learned a lot this year. I'm a lot better than what I was last year. You know, same way I think that I'm better than what I was yesterday. So I'm always open-minded to learn, to grow in this game. I think we all learn organically, but I am aware that I need to learn a lot. There's a lot of people with experience around me that have, taught me a lot of things this season. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful every day to be doing this. I feel that, I've been in a really good position to help the guys to be in their best position. I mean, I think everyone's aware that I value communication. And I think that's something that I've gotten better at this year, just talking to the guys and learning what triggers a good communication with each one of them. I always want to learn, let everyone know where they're at. I always want to tell them what to expect and how they're going to be used, so they're ready and they know what's going on around them so that they can perform at their best. So I've learned all this this year. I learned it in the past, but I got them better this year just because this game is going to teach you. I mean, you just got to stay open-minded, not be be egoless about time and learning. And that's my approach. That's my approach every day. It's a blessing to be doing this. And yes, I feel that I'm so much better right now.
Next up is Matthew Robertson.
Hey, Luis. Are you the type of guy who believes in momentum during a baseball season, or do you think it sort of resets every day when you come to the park?
I believe in both. I do believe in momentum and group momentum and everyone getting on the same page and believing, right? How good you are as a group, how good you are as a team, and getting away from probably the game result. So I think that's momentum, and that's when a team gets hot, when you know your identity as a team, what type of team you are, how can you beat that other team. That's the momentum. And some teams, it takes them all the way to past the All-Star break. Some teams go right out of the gate like that. And, and that's the momentum. You are going to lose your share of games, but the momentum is created when the team knows its identity to go out there and play their game. So I believe in that. And, I believe as well in talented teams that are talented and get prepared every day and they just go at it. So, I think both formulas work. It really comes down on what your beliefs are, the talent of the team, but there's nothing, and besides that, there's nothing like having good camaraderie on a team. I think, it's tough to beat a group of guys that believe in the same thing. Talent doesn't beat that, I think. And that's why I got to say that I believe a little more in momentum building than probably going day to day, and just seeing what's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, that's what you work for. I think all managers, coaches, they work really hard on getting the team connected. If you have connection in your team, for your players, coaching staff, manager, the front office, if there's just the us, like that's strong right there. That's I think that's momentum itself. So that's why I personally got to value that more than probably having that talent going on a day to day, like getting ready on a day to day approach, like you're comparing those two.
Last question of the day comes from Pat Pregame.
Hey, Luis. I was wondering what your thoughts were on the contributions from Billy McKinney since you guys picked him up.
It's been awesome. Both defensively, offensively, he's been great in right field. I think he can help us in center in a pinch as well. He just hasn't played center enough at the big league level just because of who's the center field, who has been the center fielder in the teams that he's played. And but he's been awesome, attitude wise, right on with this team. I feel like he's been here for years, like just the way he acts in there. And his at bats have been great. He served us as a leadoff hitter for 2 games, and we won those 2 games when we needed a leadoff hitter because Villar was absent. So I mean, what more can you ask for out of this guy? Came in and the first day he's hitting cleanup, and I think a lot of guys were like, cleanup. He can hit anywhere in the lineup if we have the right sequence, I think, and he can help us score, and he's going to help us defensively. So he's done an excellent job so far. So it's another great pickup by our front office.
Thank you very much for your time, Luis.
Thanks, Zach. See you guys.
That's all for the pregame Zoom. We'll see everyone back here after the game. Thank you.